Welcome back to Sumbi Studios, a digital art studio for all my creative projects. This video I'm going to talk all about my trip to Cebu and my experience. And I'm sorry about not posting regularly as I had planned to. I've just been busy with some personal stuff and then I got sick this past week, so I'm editing and posting this particular vlog later than usual. But anyway, let's get started. So we had lunch at dim sum break right after we landed, and this was really good. I did feel some umai after eating it for a while, but it was so tasty and filling that I would definitely go back again for another bowl. Then after that, we went back to our respective houses to check in. We stayed at a hostel, and then we went back to the outlets of Pueblo Verde to witness their Christmas lighting. And I didn't really have any expectations for this because I've never been to a Christmas lighting ceremony, but I was pleasantly surprised that they had a choir and live dancing. And then when they lit the Christmas tree, I don't have any footage of it, they had some sparklers or some fire effects. So that was surprising. Then after that, we went to 8 Flicks and Chill to eat some of the Cebuano dish called tuslob, which means to dip in the bubbles. And basically this is a dish that uses pig brain and onions and then spring onions, and then you cook it all very gently to make sure it doesn't burn. And then once it's all bubbled up and cooked thoroughly, you take your puso or your rice that is wrapped in banana leaves and you dip it all the way through. You drag it through the dish. Make sure you go to the very bottom because that's where all the flavor is, according to our server. Dip it all the way through and then eat it. And the flavor is so good. It's very hard to explain. And honestly, I don't really remember how it tastes like. But it was just so good and very different from anything else that you've ever eaten. I don't think I've ever eaten anything that was like it. And then on our second try that we tried to cook it, we ended up burning it because it's a fragile dish. And you have to make sure that your heat is very low. The next day for lunch, we ate at Punko Punko sa Fuente, which is an award-winning restaurant. And there's my puso and I think I had pork chop, but they have a lot of other fried dishes there. I was just really full from the Starbucks drink that I had. And with all the oily food that I had already been eating the day previously, I wasn't really feeling this. But had I not been eating oily food, then this would also have been another winner for me. And just check out all that. And then after that, we went our separate ways, and the girls went to visit the Temple of Leia, or they called it the Temple of Angela, just for fun. And the view is beautiful. It's very reminiscent of Tagaytay, even the road that we drove on, which was very steep. Well, not that steep. It did go up, and it was very windy, windy, just like going to Tagaytay. And as you can see, the building is beautiful. It's like the architecture that we'd study in art history. Especially since it is a Roman-styled architecture. Though the trip to get there was long and confusing, it was definitely worth seeing at least once to see all the architecture and the attention to detail that this man had put in for his wife, in dedication of his love for his wife. So it was very nice to see, especially the view of seeing the entire city just from that spot. Luckily on this particular day, the weather was really nice. I mean, it was kind of cloudy, but it was mostly hot and also not that windy, so it was just very hot. But thanks to that, we could really appreciate the view of both the temple and the landscape. So as you can see, it's a very popular tourist attraction because it was full. Every corner of that temple was full of people, even the underneath where the bathroom area was. And then after that, we went to the SRP, or the Cebu South Road Properties. And I didn't really know what that meant, but it was just like a baywalk area near the beach. So basically it was just a bunch of restaurants near the beach. So you could enjoy some great food. We didn't actually eat there though. We just went to look at it. And then we left to go get some souvenirs. And right next to the souvenir shop was Magellan's Cross. So I didn't know that this was right here. Clearly I'm not made to be a tourist, but it was a sight to see. It was interesting that there was so many people flocking to it and taking photos. And I wanted to go to this museum, which is at their municipal building, but it was closed, unfortunately. And then after that, we ended up seeing the Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway. It wasn't on purpose, I don't think, but it was kind of scary looking at that bridge and seeing that giant gap in the middle and thinking about how architecturally sound it is. I mean, I'm not an architect, but it looks cool, but scary. So So then after that, we drove some more. I think we went back to the hostel after this. Oh yeah, we did. So we stayed at Peach Haven, which was very nice. It was my first time staying at any type of hostel. And this particular one was very homey. Each room was color-coded, so we stayed in the pink room. Our towels were a very vibrant pink-orange. And then if we went downstairs to get water, then the cups would also be a pink color, so you know that it belonged to our room. And they also had internet, a bathroom with a water heater, and clean linen and sheets. And then after that, we rested for a while, and then we went to Samara, which is, I don't know where it was, but it was in between a bunch of, it was kind of like a business district, and the food was so good. I got a salad because I needed a break from all the fried food, and it was so good. The mango was very sweet. It wasn't sour at all, and which is a hit or miss when you get something with a mango as part of the recipe, because sometimes it is sour. Then after that, we went to Verified Lounge, which was a bar thingy that's on the top of a rooftop bar. So this is what we got. I got a non-alcoholic drink because I don't like alcohol. It does not taste good in my mouth. It always tastes bitter. So, according to my friend, that could mean that I am a super taster, which means I have more taste buds on my mouth that are more receptive to the bitter taste. And then finally, we went home, and then at the airport, there was a Dunkin' Donuts, so I got a donut for breakfast. I think it was like a blueberry type of thing. I thought it was going to be sweet, but then I bit into it, and it was not sweet at all, so I was disappointed, and I love sugar, so that's why I was disappointed. So then after that, we arrived at the airport. We had to ride the bus to go from the airport to the terminal, or from the airplane to the airport. We had to ride a bus. So this is just the view from that. My backpack was heavy, so I wanted to go home and not carry it anymore. But so that was my trip, and I'd definitely go back to Cebu again in the future, if not multiple times. So thanks for watching. Bye.